Hello and welcome to the Flat Cap Fettler. I just thought I'd do a quick video about me air raffles that I own. A couple of lads have liked some of the stuff, so I thought I'd do some, starting with the most expensive raffle I own and work my way down to the cheapest raffle I own, and the little bits of modifications I've done and stuff that you can do if you want to, and also the reasons why I own them. For the jobs that I have for them. They all have their own little jobs that I use them for. Others not so. I just bought them because it's shiny. But yeah, so we'll get straight into it. So this is featured on the channel before. This is my FX Pantera 500. It has a MTC scope on it. I'm not too sure which model it is. MTC Viper Pro Tactical. There we go. Fantastic scope, loved it. This rifle is the most expensive rifle I own, and it were a lot of money. I'm not going to say how much. You can do your own research on that because obviously Mrs. might be watching. But it is. I've not used it a lot, but I do use it. And I do use it for hunting sometimes as well, even though that's not the primary design for it. It was meant for target shooting against slug, to shoot against 2-2 rimfires. So they originally designed it in a 700mm, so it's a 700mm barrel, and they're like 120 foot-pounds, something like that. They're a 30 caliber, and I think someone might correct me that that's 9mm. So yeah, they were designed for that. You can buy 700mm in UK, but they are extremely rare. I've not seen not one of them in the UK, not one. They come in a 700, a 600 and a 500. This is the 500, the 12 foot-pound version for the UK market. The plenum, which is in the barrel, it's a lot smaller in these because it didn't need as much oomph, if you will, you know, gas in the tank, if you will, to fire that big 30 cal slug down range. Now you can tweak these. I mean, obviously if you tweak it, it voids your warranty. I will say that first and foremost. And obviously the UK legal limit is 12 foot-pounds. Anything over that, right, it's classed as a section 1 firearm, which is just like a 762, 222 in this country anyway, 2-2 rimfire. So to get a firearm certificate, if you're going to get one of these on a firearm certificate, in my eyes, I don't see point in it really, because a 2-2 rimfire, you can get them for about 300 quid, 300 quid for brand new ones over here. The only thing is the ammunition is a bit expensive, but saying that, pellets are going exactly the same. They're nearly 30 quid a tin now for certain ones. I think some of them are well over £30. This is in 2-2. I will show you something now, but obviously, like I said, it's up to you whether you do this. You know, it will void your warranty, and there's a lot more to it than just tweaking it. You gotta make sure it's balanced right and everything else. So I'll tell you what I've done with this. The first thing I ever did with this rifle, there is videos online on YouTube, which you can easily find out, and you basically unscrew this bottle. And then you undo these screws here. You've got to degas it as well, which by unscrewing this bottle, you can fire it off a couple of times, or there's an actual bleed valve you can do it with as well. Release. So on this side, you got this here, which is to tension your hammer spring, to tune it so you can lower the power and bring the power up, if you will. Again, you can go online and check all that out. It's simple enough. So you degas it, you take this off, a couple more screws, and you take your hammer spring out with your hammer on it, if you will. Now I replaced this with a tungsten hammer, 4mm. They come in 1, 2, 3 and 4. I put it in 4 to give it the biggest weight behind it, if you will. And that's what you're looking for if you want more power. But then you've got to do that first, if you will, because if you're going to turn this up, there's a regulator and the pressure's involved in that. You need more weight behind it to release them gases. If you don't have that weight, it's not going to really do anything. Now the second thing you do, Again, I wouldn't advise doing this because this will definitely take your air rifle over 12 foot-pounds by doing this. Right behind the trigger, you can just see it there, in front of it, sorry, right there. That's your regulator valve to adjust your regulator valve. Have a top one, which your top gauge, that's your regulator pressure, and then your bottom one's your bottle pressure overall. They fill at 250 bar, and your regulator's set generally on these, I think, about 90. Yeah, for 12 foot-pounds. You turn it up in quarters at a time. You don't want to go over your bottle pressure because you can damage the rifle. So obviously by turning it up, you're losing shots. So once you've tweaked it up, obviously you need a chronograph, see where you're at with it and everything else. And there's a certain point where it'll level out. No matter what you do, it'll level out. Now this weapon is not meant to go to, this air rifle, should I say, it's not made to go to 120 foot-pounds. I think the maximum you can get out of these with other bits and bats, I think on the paperwork it's about 70, which is more than enough considering the 2.2 rimfire subs are around about 50-55 foot-pound. That's more than enough for this. Obviously, if you don't have a firearms certificate, that is illegal to do that. I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just showing you where it is, just in case you need to take your regulator pressure down a little bit because it's creeping up. Now, if you're putting it at, like, say, 150 bar, right, and your bottle pressure is at 250, what you don't want to do after so many shots, you've got to keep checking. You don't want to let that bottle pressure fall below your regulator pressure where it's set at. That is just a word of warning there. There'll be other things that you'll need to do if you're wanting to go stupid with it, but them are the things you can do quite easily with it. Now this is set at 12 foot-pounds, and I put a silencer on it as well. It's made for this air rifle and this air rifle only. It is a Sumo, I think it is called, Sumo silencer. It looks silenced as a barrel, but it's not. They're not doing, and they're quite loud as well when they fire without one. So I put a silencer on. It just looks better anyway. It gives it a bit of length. Yeah, I love the rifle. Only qualms I have about it is that because it's so expensive, I'm sometimes frightened to take it out. The scope is unbelievable. It's fantastic, and it even has illuminated reticle. But the crosshairs, I've said this in another video, the crosshairs are so fine. It's unreal on these scopes, which is that's what you want for accuracy. You want a nice, fine crosshair, but these are like bordering where I'm struggling to see them. Turrets, lockable turrets, obviously adjusted for wind elevation and that, parallax as well. I can't fault the scope apart from that. I wouldn't have it any other way, but it is unbelievably good. Is the scope? It's crystal clear. I can't remember how much it is, but you pay for quality, and this is what you get. This is the absolute peak of air rifle technology in my eyes, just in my opinion. These things are unreal. At 12 foot-pounds, at 80 yards, you are keyholing pellets. You are keyholing them. They're going into a 5p or a nickel, if you will, if you're from America. They are unbelievably accurate. 177 seems to be really hard to get hold of in this country because everyone snapped them up. So I ended up getting a 2.2. Not that I'm bothered. I did want a 177, but 2.2 is what this one is. But yeah, butt pad's adjustable, cheek piece is adjustable. You can buy loads of bits of add-on bits to it. You can even get another valve here to put put another bottle in. The bottles are carbon fibre. Even when they're filled, you can fully removable. Even when they're full, you don't have to degas anything. You can just take them off. Fully removable. Obviously, there'll be gas in the gun itself, even after you remove that until you've drained it off or fired the action off a few times. But triggers unbelievable on this gun. It is unreal. I love it. It's not my favourite rifle that I own, but I do like this gun. My kids love it. They think it's something out of the Call of Duty. They absolutely love this thing. But yeah, so that's my FX Pantera, whatever you want to call it, in 2.2. It's a 500mm. I highly recommend them. I use it for a bit of hunting, field target, really long range for like rats, stuff like that. I try and really push it out with rats, and I use Hades, 2.2 Hades. I think they're 18.9 grain, I think. Quite an heavy pellet. Absolutely devastating when they hit something. The stopping power on them is unbelievable. I've never used a pellet like it in my life. They are the best pellets I've ever used for all-round vermin work, shooting, you know what I mean? And they're accurate. They're really, really accurate. They fly really well. But yeah, they are very good. By the way, yeah, just one more thing. This valve here, screwing it anti-clockwise, opens the regulator and increases the pressure. If you want to decrease the pressure in the regulator, quarter turn, fire it off, or drain the system and see where you're at. Do not adjust it right round and without releasing the pressure first. So you've got to adjust it a little bit, release the pressure, adjust it a little bit, release the pressure. That's if you want to bring it down. If you want to bring it up, you can just come up in increments, you know, quarter turn at a time, and you'll see the gauge starting to creep up. Apparently you can't go, and it's what I've read about this first, you can't go over 180 bar inside the reg is the maximum. So, and you don't want to go below that in your bottle pressure. So that's some points to take. There is some stuff online, especially on YouTube, that you can check. But apart from that, yeah, that's me first one, FX Pantera. So I'll just put this back in the box. I'll go on to my next rifle, which is my most favourite rifle that I own. I absolutely love this thing. It is a rifle that I've had for a long time, and I had the Mark 1 version first, so I'll just get it. It's my airarms Pro Sport. This is the absolute best spring rifle available in my opinion. Unreal, it is unbelievable. Straight out the box, it's like a fully tuned custom rifle. The action is anyway, it's unreal. This is in 177. I will never part with this rifle, never. I absolutely love it. It's my most favourite gun. It does everything that you want it to do. It is super smooth. It's a Springer. They're under lever, so they sit up there. It's sat up under its own pressure. It's no clip or anything like that. It's just sat on its own pressure. It's mounted on a Hawk scope. I think it's a 4x16. I think, or not. It is 3x12x50. I think it is on front, with a sunshade on. I've used this target shooting, won competitions with it. It is super accurate for a spring gun, and it is super smooth. It's got a silenced barrel. I remember when these come out when I was a kid, because I used to buy Air Gun magazine when you used to be able to buy magazines. Now everything's online, unfortunately. It was always good waiting for that magazine to turn up into the paper shop. When I was a kid, I used to like be pining for it. I loved it. Reading all articles from like all the greats of shooting from the 80s and 90s. You know, sadly them days are gone now, unfortunately. But yeah, I remember seeing these, and I actually ended up buying one, the Mark 1, the first version of it. And unfortunately, my house got burgled and it got stolen, which I was absolutely gutted about. So I ended up buying, when the next version came out, which is what this is, I ended up buying this, and this is my absolute prized possession. The bluing on it is absolutely phenomenal. It's so deep, so dark, it's unreal. I just love it, everything about it. The trigger is crisp, clean, completely predictable. It is one of the nicest rifles I own. I love going hunting with it, but mainly this gets used for like field target, stuff like that. in Springer class. I absolutely love this gun. Yeah, there's not much more to say about it really. They're legendary. Like all the actions on all synthetic bearings, underlever, opens up a breech at the side here. Let's turn it around. As you cock it, it opens up that silver breech there, and it can be a bit fiddly. So I've only got plus points for this gun really, but I know people are going to moan in comments about certain things, so I will say what other people moan about with them. So it can be a bit fiddly putting your pellet into here. I'm not going to cock it because that means I have to fire it off, and I don't want to do that without pellet. So cock it back, you put your pellet in. Being 177, it can be a bit fiddly, especially if you've got fucking sausages for fingers like me, right? 2, now this is for mad arses, this. Who mad about it. The cocking lever is square. People go, oh, it's uncomfortable. It's not. It's completely fine. It's lovely. You know, they thought about this, they did air arms, and they designed this with a bloke, I forgot his name, but a bloke from Airgun World, or Airgun, or whatever it's called. He has glasses on, been a part of the airgun scene for decades, and he was in partnership with Air Arms, and they designed this gun together. This is what I read, and Air Arms gifted him the very first one, and it's the Pro Sport, so it's a pro sporter, a professional sporter. That was the name for it, but then they cut it down to Pro Sporter, Air Arms Pro Sport. I say, if you buy one of these, this is, again, the pinnacle of air rifle technology, spring. They are good, and I mean good. You will not be disappointed. They're expensive now though. I think I've seen these creeping up to like nearly 900 quid new without a scope, which is phenomenal money in my eyes for a spring gun. Like I say, you pay for what you get, but I think 900 quid is expensive for a spring gun. But the quality involved in this rifle is unreal. It's unbelievable. You do not need to do nothing to this gun apart from maintain it. That's it. Oil. If you mess about putting different springs in a light, you will ruin this gun. I promise you, you will absolutely ruin it. It doesn't need nothing. Straight out the box, I think it was something like a 7 feet per second variation, and that come down drastically after a tin of pellets. It's like 2, 3 variation in feet per second. This is completely standard. Like I said, don't need to do nothing to it. Out the box, and it's you know, this wins competitions out of the box. You see him with big silly stocks and all that, each their own, not my cup of tea, you know what I mean? But this thing kicks ass in target competition in Springer. It is unreal. It's such a good gun. Some people, you know, you can disagree with me. I'm not bothered. This is just my opinion, that's all. You know, it doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. You know, I still think that. The scope on this is a Hawk scope, fully adjustable with locking turrets. You lift them up, give it a click, whatever way you want to go, push it back down. I have it zeroed at 30 yard, and then I have a book with all my ranges in, to how many clicks I need to take away or add on for elevation, for range, basically. For windage, it's just experience that, you know what I mean, doing that. A bit more to it than that, but yeah. I have my wheel on the side. I can take this off, just do a quarter turn, it comes off, but I have it on. I like to see it. Getting a bit older now, getting a bit bad with lamps, so I like to use it. It's nice, it's just nice to use. It was standard. This is totally standard scope. It come with the covers, flip up covers, nice metal flip up covers. They're lovely things. Yeah, hang on. They do lock in quite well. I'll give it that. There we go. Yeah, come with sunshade in a box. I always use Sportsmax mounts, me, always. Don't use anything else. Everything else is shit, crap. I use Sportsmax, that is it. I highly recommend them. They are the best mounts in the world. It's as simple as that. They do loads of different variations. I think they even do one where you can actually adjust the mount like you do with your windage and elevation. I've never used one of them, so I can't vouch for them. But normal ones, so 1 piece, 2 piece, double bolted, single bolted, you know, depending what air rifle you've got. But yeah, that's me airarms Pro Sport. That is my favourite gun. Only I ever use this. I absolutely love it. Right. So I'll get to now these guns both cost the same in a way, the next two, but one of them is, I'll start with one that's already been on the channel. So I'll just put this down. So this is my next rifle. This is an hw80 Luxus. Only difference between a Luxus and a normal hw80 is the stock. That's it. And they put a different silencer on from the factory. Apart from that, it has this model. The action itself has not changed that much. They put some stupid writing on the side here, which kind of ruins it for me, like a warning thing, which completely ruins the action in one respect. And I used to like these with iron sights on, because I used to put them along here and then on there. Now when you put iron sights on, they're like a dovetail mount at the front of the barrel to put a really nice hooded foresight on. You know, they were really good, the iron sights on these wire racks, fantastic. My first ever proper hunting rifle was an hw80. My dad bought it me, and I think he paid 220 quid for it, brand new, from a place called Target Technics in Accrington, which is sadly now gone, done, dusted. And they were called Richard Spencer, the bloke. And if you look him up, you'll see just how much of a wizard is the best way I can put it. Phenomenal bloke, how good he was with air rifles. He designed an air rifle called the Airlogic Genesis. I'll let you look that up. I did own one. I owned it was one of the pre-production models, number 4. There was only 5 pre-production models and I owned number 4. And regrettably, like an idiot, I sold it. Anyway, yeah, we bought Target Technics, and then we couldn't afford the scope at first, and I used to use Ely Wasp Blue Tin. Phenomenal, really good gun, fantastic gun. I had it years and years and years and years, and I sold it to a friend who we were in army with. I recently got in contact with him to actually try and buy it back to restore it, but unfortunately he sold it a few years ago, so never mind. Anyway, so I bought an hw80 a few years back, and then I gifted that to my son for his 16th, and you've seen him on the channel with it, and there's a video of him both. That one's had some serious tweaks as that one, and I'm not going to tell you what the power figures are, but it's fair gain up there, you know, and it's got some range to it, let's put it that way. But yeah, this one's completely standard. Now, if the world had completely crashed and everything had gone Pete Tong, and you needed a gun to last you a lifetime to hunt and put food on the table, this is the one I would pick every single day. These things are bomb-proof. They are the AK-47 of the air rifle world. They will never ever break. They'll just keep going and going and going and going, and they are seriously detuned for the British market, if you will. I think standard from Germany, I think they're around about 18 to 20 foot-pound, something like that. But here they detuned them by making, obviously the transfer port smaller, it's 3mm, and I think they were 3.5, and the spring is detuned as well. But apart from that, that is it. So that's how easy they are to tune. I'd never touched a port in me. I'd never do that myself personally, even though I could do it easily. But changing the spring is all you need to do with this gun to get serious power out of it. But a word of warning, when you start changing springs in these, they kick like a mule. So once you get used to it, accuracy comes back. But before you get used to it, it's like hitting a barn door. Until you get used to that kick and that twang off them, then it takes some getting used to. Again, I've got a sports match mount, single piece, and they got an arrestor block. So in the back of these hw80s, just underneath the scope, there's 3 holes drilled in for an arrestor block to stop scope creep, because they do vibrate a lot when they fire. I've just modified this one ever so slightly, so I've got these brass bushers here that go into stock with some Allen heads, because I don't know if anybody remembers the Venom tuned rifles. They were like, everyone wanted one of them. They were mega money at the time. Very rare. Venom hw80, you know. I know what they've done to them. We haven't got the time to go into that at the minute. But yeah, I just like that type of touch really. I've got a brass trigger guard to go on yet, but I just haven't had time to do it yet. But yeah, this is absolutely bomb-proof, this gun. It's got an AGS scope on it, which is a 4 by 16 by 50. Yep, 4 by 15 by 60. Parallax adjustable. Nice simple scope. It works. There's no issues with it. These are well, they're adjustable inside, but the caps on. This is just a pure hunting rifle. This is all I use it for, and that is it. I use it for taking out anything really. It's had pheasant, duck, goose, even this, rabbits, rats, pigeons, everything. They are brilliant. They're old school technology that's still relevant in today's world, in my opinion. These, like I say, if the shit hit the fan and, you know, everything is, society broke down and you had to like fend for yourself, and they said you had to pick one gun, this is it. This is the gun I will be grabbing with some pellets. This is in 2.2. Yeah, but apart from that, that's it. It's just a hw80. I love them. Brilliant gun. I'll always have one. This will more likely be the last one I ever buy. All they did with this, the Luxus version, is they've made this bit here, the stock, they put some really nice checkering on here that says wire rack, and they made the butt a bit different there, so it comes down here, so it's quite flat there, which is a bit strange. Ambidextrous, so you can both sides, no issue. If you're left or right-handed, if you're weird like that and left-handed. But yeah, it's a wire rack silencer, what come with the gun. I've not modified anything else. Only thing I've done, put them in. That's it. Don't need to do anything else really. If I wanted to tweak it, I could do, but I'm leaving this one standard. It's right. It's a good gun. I like it. Like I say, it puts food on table if I wanted it to. It's nice to shoot, nice to hold. It's a good gun. It's solid. They're quite heavy, but like as Boris the Blade says, heavy is good. The weight, it does well to have the weight, because without the weight it'd be a bit flippy uppy, like, you know what I mean, on barrel would be all over. The weight kind of calms that down. I've always liked heavy guns. Same with that Pro Sport. It's a heavy gun, but you need that weight. It soothes the kick on it. You know, it makes it a lot better, a lot easier. So yeah, that's my hw80. Again, like I said, sports match mounts, can't beat them. I'm an advocate for them. Don't buy cheap mounts. You're just absolutely wasting money, because I guarantee you'll take them off in a couple of weeks and you'll throw them in the bin. Sports match. Put this one down. This one's my second pre-charge rifle. This is Walther R8, RM8 should I say. The R8 is wooden stocked and it's a bit longer. Apart from that, oh, and the bolt is a bit smaller, the bolt handle there. Apart from that, it's the same gun. This is my night shooting setup. It's completely standard, apart from I put a wire rack silencer on it because they're super quiet. The one that come with it, I'm not a fan of. They're a bit stubby. You know, even though this is a really quiet gun, with that on, you put this on and it's phenomenally quiet. You can hear, you know, it's just click. That's it. That's all it does. You can tweak these extremely easy. Very, very, very easy. Literally by turning a screw. It is so easy. The scope is, I'm I'm sure it's a Hawk. It is a Hawk scope. Again, sports match mounts. It's a Hawk scope. It is, I think it's a 3x9x50. Parallax adjustable. It does everything I need to. Nice, simple, brilliant gun. 8-shot, bolt action. Like I say, it's my night shooting gun. It's what I use at night time. Nice big chunky bolt. Every time you cop this, it puts the safety on it back. You can disable that if you wanted to. There's a way to do it. I would never even think about doing that personally. I think it'd be stupid to do that, because you can put it, it comes on automatically and you push it off, but you can pull it back on. You know, I sooner leave it like me. 8-shot, magazines are dirt cheap, simple, really simple. All this works. You know, this mechanism, how that has been going, it's been going for a long time in your RWSs, your Festive, your Webleys, stuff like that, pre-charged guns. To tweak this one, you take I think it's 1 or 2 screws underneath here, and then about there, it's an Allen key, and it's got some red paint on it. Allen key, well, nut, or whatever you want to call it. It's a very small Allen key, I think it's about 2.5, and it's thread lock. You crack that off, undo that, you take one out, and there's one underneath, and what that does is open the transfer port up, because that's how these are tuned to detune them. And you open the transfer port up, and that obviously lets more air in, and then you put the locking screw back in and lock it up. Just by doing that, you can get to about, I think it's between 16 and 18 foot-pound. And then you can take the regulator off, and you can put, there's a bloke who does it on YouTube. Just put Wolfer R8 tuning or power upgrade, and you'll see how he does it. It's simple. Take the regulator off, put a couple of washers inside it. I forgot what it does, but basically then you're into your 20s, if you will. This one is standard again. I wouldn't recommend messing about with these unless you know what you're doing, because you could ruin your gun. And 2, obviously, I will say it again, it takes it into a Section 1 firearm as soon as it's over 12 foot-pounds. So I just want to say that first. Nobody going, oh yeah, this bloke on YouTube said you can do this and blah blah blah, and I get in trouble. I say this is my night shooting for lamping. Well, not lamping actually. So I've got this bracket on here on the back, and it's for a PARD, P-A-R-D, night vision. That makes your scope into night vision. And getting on now these things, but I tell you what, fucking well good. It's brilliant. You don't have to mess. You just unclip it off. It's done. Back on, click. You don't have to mess about with zero, nothing. It still keeps it zero. It's really good. So it goes on. I'll show you now. I brought it here. So it comes in a box like this. It says PARD. Its model is NV007A. Now I bought this second hand off a friend, and I tell you what, best bit of money I've used for lamping and stuff like that. It's dead clear, crystal clear. Once you set it up, it just takes a bit of tweaking. So on your adjustment, your eye relief and all that, you've got to tweak it a bit, but it's got adjustment as well on this. So basically, this is it. It's got IR. That's it. Simple as that. And it turns your scope into night vision. Brilliant things. That's what you do. Put it like that. And it literally, once I find it, there it is. Clicks in. And that's it. And it puts your head back, but you can put your eye right up to this and just look like that. And it's like a television shape, square, and it just makes it night vision, and it is super accurate. It's dead quiet. Brilliant thing, especially for the bunnies. You don't know what's hit them. It's a really good piece of kit, this gun. I like it, and it were cheap, but they're cheap these as well. Unbelievably cheap for what you get. Yeah, I mean, I think you can get them second hand for like 250 quid with a scope, but I bought this brand new. I think it about 420. I think I paid another 50-60 quid, and I got the scope on top of it, like, you know what I mean? It come with a silencer. I upgraded the silencer because I already had one, and still got the old silencer. But yeah, fantastic gun, 8-shot, dead accurate, like really accurate. This is in 177, fly nice and flat. You know, bunnies are 40-50 yards at 12 foot-pounds, no problem whatsoever, with very little wind. They're very good. They're comfortable as well, but what I will say is they're quite heavy up front, because this bottle is steel. It's a steel bottle, and they're quite nose heavy, but they are balanced quite well, you know what I mean? Even though that bottle's heavy, they're quite balanced quite well, but they're an heavy gun for a gas gun. They got to be £7, something like that. I mean, that's not heavy to me, but people moan about it. Comfortable, can grip it nice. Yeah, nice gun, I like it, me. It's a brilliant rifle, but that's all I use it for, night shooting. This, nothing else. It doesn't do anything else apart from night shooting. So that's my Walther RM8, my last gun. Now I bought this gun for fun, and it takes me back to when I was a kid with old school BSAs and stuff like that. Now the thing is, with old school BSAs, they're big money now, they're not cheap. All old type guns like that, they're not cheap. I suppose what I paid for this, I could have bought one, but I just love it, the looks of it. And it's Springfield Armories M1A, I think it is. It's in 2.2, it's underlever, and I love it. It aces well with fun, this gun. So yeah, so this is it. It's a replica that I think it's an M14, you know, or an A1M or whatever, M1A, whatever they were called. But I think M14s have a magazine door at the underneath. I think these were clip fed. I could be wrong. I'm not bothered anyway. This is the air rifle version, obviously. This is a hefty thing, is this? It's thick, it's chunky. They've done a really good job of making it look real. Like I say, I really like it. I just bought it for plinking targets and that, but I ended up going ratting with it, because with open sights, you know, you can get a bead on rats. You know, not obviously not that, you get a bead on through day. It's, once you get used to it, it's really accurate. And with scopes and stuff, with all these rifles I have, it's so easy to keyhole pellets that eventually you get bored. So I wanted something that's just iron sights, that's it. And this is what I bought. I think it was £170, brand new, from Boyce's gun shop in Nelson. There's a bloke called Carl, and he's a really nice bloke, really helps you out. He knows his shit, and he's just a nice bloke. And I asked him to get me one, and he picked it up for me. Yeah, I think it's about 175 quid. It was cheap. That's brand new. It's 2.2 underlever. So you cock it, this lever here, there, and that cocks, and then this whole brown plastic assembly, which is just like the real, and you know, everyone goes, why do they make brown like that? The real one's like that. So it all moves like that, opens up this port here, where then you put your pellet in, like a bit similar to an hw80, or you know, my Pro Sport. But if you're struggling to cock it, you can pull that out if you wanted to, if you're feeble, you know, cock it like that. This is one of the most fun guns I've got. You could put a scope on it if you will. On the other side there, you might be a bit hard to see them, some brass things there. And I was thinking about making a mount with a Weaver mount on it, but I think that kind of ruined it really, so I never bothered. Safety catches there, so you push it out, for on, back in, and it's off. Fully adjustable sights at the rear, so one side is height, you know, and the other side is for your windage. But yeah, it's a right good gun. Only thing I will say, if you're a bit young, this is not a gun for someone who's a young person or quite smaller frame, because as you can see, it's quite thick. It's quite a thick gun around here. It's really thick. I've got quite big hands, mate. I won't say I struggle, but it's a really, really thick gun. You know what I mean? It's a chunky thing. I love it. You know what I mean? This is like, if someone broke into your house, you hit them with this, and that's it. It's done. They're done. You don't even have to shoot them. Not that I condone that. Not on here anyway. But yeah, the only thing I kind of not like about it is the flash illuminator at the front. It could be made a bit better. But apart from that, for 175 quid, it's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's quite accurate as well. You know, I use a spotting scope. We have a big target that me and my son use, and I try and push the ranges out really good with this, just for crack, for no reason, just for fun. I've got spinning targets and stuff like that, so we'll take it out to like 30, 40, get me high in, and then try and really push it out to like 50s and 60s, which is extremely difficult, but that's what makes it good. You're not getting bored, you know what I mean? You can hit tin cans at that range with it, no bother, but like we're trying to hit like a spoon sized flippy target, like, you know, with it, and it makes for good fun shooting and some good bets and stuff like that between me and my lad. But yeah, you cock it. Once it's cocked, it locks with this like little thing here that locks all the mechanism. So when you want to release it, you have to, so it's a bit like fiddly, if you will. So I cock it and then put my hand under and push it down, and it'll allow you to bring that action back up. It's quite quiet. It's got a bit of a kick, but yeah, it's dead simple. This is all just, it moves, but it's just for looks, really. It's not, that's all that does. It doesn't do anything else. It's a dead good gun. It's good. It's a good gun for, say, like a 13, 14-year-old maybe, who's biggish lad. Fantastic to learn with. Good, brilliant fun. I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's the cheapest gun I own. And I think it's fantastic gun. You know, it can take some knocks, bangs. You can rest it on stuff, because the stock's very. You know, I should imagine that's how they were made. It, you know, for the military like this. You know, they're not polished and nice and lovely. They were just dead basic. They can take an hammer in, and they still look good for it, in my opinion, with battle scars on. But yeah, they're fantastic gun. Money well spent, this one, definitely. Obviously it's not a scratch on me Pro Sport. So, but yeah, it's one of my favourite guns, definitely one of my favourite. But all my air rifles have a purpose, most of them, apart from, I'd say, my Pantera, really. It doesn't really have a purpose. It's just, if you notice, like, I have a purpose for them all. My Panteras, because I don't know, I'd have seen it and I thought, wow, that is phenomenal. That's phenomenal gun, is that? And I just thought, I'm going to buy one of them just so I could see if I could really push them ranges out to something really stupid, target shooting, you know, like 100, 120, 130 metres or something, you know, something stupid like that. Just for fun, which is something that we've not really done with it. As I say, but it's a beautiful rifle, and it is the pinnacle of air rifle technology. But if you want to say what I have more fun with, that or this, then it's this gun. I have really good fun with this, and it just takes. That's what it's about. That's, in my opinion, that's what shooting's about, and getting into the sport and getting young minds into it. This is what it's about. Definitely the fun factor, watching target flick round. You used to shoot tree ball mints, and you know, and they turned to dust. You know, when I was like 12, 13, you know, because when you were 13, when I was a kid, in 90s, you were allowed to go out by yourself in an air rifle. Now I think you have to be, is it 21? I think you're 21 now. You can't buy ammunition unless you're 18 or 21. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I should really know, but I'm at that age where it doesn't really concern me, that part of it anyway, you know what I mean? And my kids come out with me shooting. They're not their guns, they're my guns, and I'll let them use them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's coming up to Christmas now. This is Sunday, so it's Eve, I think, yeah. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. You know, I don't do any of that happy holidays rubbish. It's a Merry Christmas for me. Please don't be offended by that. I don't mean it in an offence. It's just how I am. And hopefully I'll see everyone at New Year. Have a fantastic New Year as well. I've really enjoyed doing the channel so far, and I've learned a lot of how to do some things, and you know, I've made some mistakes, and hopefully I'll rectify them type of mistakes as and when I start doing these videos a bit better. It is a bit of a long video this, but I think it'll fit. And we'll get all these out shooting. I'm gonna try and go somewhere, put them all in the back of my car, and we'll go shooting with them, and you can just get a feel of what, you know, what they're like. If you've got any questions, please just ask me in comments. But apart from that, have a good Christmas, Happy New Year, and Flat Cat Fettler will see you in January, more likely, something like that, unless we do a bit of shooting just before New Year. I might film it, we don't know, we'll see. But have a good time, folks, stay safe.